I'm out again for another mushroom foray in the middle of Finland, this time with my buddy Ines. We're hopefully going to be successful and find some lovely mushrooms in this beautiful forest. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, no way. Goodness me. First one of the year. I did not expect to find this guy here. I am absolutely thrilled. Penny bun, king bullet, porcini, whatever you want to call it, this is one of my absolute favourites. The cap is this brownish colour and it doesn't have gills but pores. These are the end of tubes that release the mushroom spores. The stem can get quite bulbous, and not sure if you can see it in the video, but it has this white network at the top of the stem called a reticulum. When you cut them open, they are all white inside. When these are young, you can eat them raw. They also come up really good if you fry them, but you probably want to discard the pores, which are actually really spongy. If you don't want to be wasteful, you can actually dry the sponge and turn it into a mushroom powder, which is actually really tasty. A lovely little find, this one. What have we got here, Ines? Let's take a look. Looks like we've got a miller over here. These ones are edible, but they also look pretty similar to a deadly poisonous funnel mushroom, so you've got to be super careful with these. Luckily for me though, I can't stand the smell of these. The books say they smell like raw dough, but if you ask me, they only smell like semen. Not one for my dinner plate. The cap is white or cream and has usually an irregular shape, so it's not round. The gills run somewhat down the stem and also go a little bit pink, as these ones have pink spores. Not one that I'm taking home with me today. I know these are edible, but I just can't get my head round putting this in my mouth. There is something else down here though I want to take a look at. A couple of young brown birch bullets here. You can easily tell these by the colour of their caps and the dark scales down the stem. They only grow under birch trees too. These are edible, but they're not all that great. You can sling them in with a medley of other mushrooms, but as a standalone, they're a bit naff. These ones look to have had a few bugs in them too. See that there? It's actually pretty big. It comes up to around hip height on me. Down here, we've got the brown birch bullet. And thousands of ants scurrying around. We've just spotted two little bumps in the road here. Let's have a look. Looks like we've got a couple of lonely deceivers here in the middle of the path. They're not as bad as they sound and are actually edible. They're called deceivers because they look a lot like other little mushies. So like all other mushrooms, you need to know 100% what you've got before consuming them. We can either go the hard way or the easy way. Let's go this way. Come on. Ladies first. Come on. Okay. You want to wait for me? Alright, let's go. Good girl. Round here. We've got one of Finland's common mushrooms over here. Look at this bright yellow cap. The brightness of this yellow is a good giveaway, but like other rasulas, this has very brittle gills that break away to look a bit like almond flakes. The stem breaks away like chalk too. As the swamp in the name would suggest, they love a bit of wet ground and tend to grow with birch trees. Here in Finland, these are a super popular eating mushroom. They're quite mild to a slightly hot taste. Back home, this is one of my favourites, and I have a lovely little spot in my local woods where these come up. They're the hedgehog fungus. Super easy to identify, as these have teeth instead of gills or pores. The only lookalike they have is the terracotta hedgehog, which is of a terracotta colour, but this one is also edible and super tasty. I almost totally missed these. I just spotted them as I was leaving the yellow swamp brittle gills. Now I don't know about you, but I love the look and colour of these mushrooms. What we have here are a few gassy web caps. They have these beautiful violet caps, have a bulbous base, and when cut open have a marbled brown rusty interior to the stem. Not one for eating, but an absolute joy to see in the forest, and there's actually quite a few around here. Well, you get these everywhere in this forest. These are known as the tiger's eye mushroom. I don't know anything else that looks quite like it. They're really distinctive and, well, look a bit like a tiger's eye. The underside is porous, but these ones aren't edible, so it's just one for you to admire from afar in the forest. Well, it looks like we've got a milk cap here. To be honest, I'm not sure what one this is, but the gills underneath with this milky-like substance is a dead giveaway. It does look a bit like the rufous milk cap, which is popular for eating in Finland, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to have to take this home with me and study it a bit more closely. This forest is something else, so peaceful. I hardly ever see anyone in here. If I'm not mushroom foraging, I'm riding a bike or running through this place. Coming out and doing some mushroom hunting is one of my favourite pastimes this time of year in Finland. The forest has such a calming effect on me and I absolutely love being in this place. If you don't live in Finland, you really should plan to visit if you can. It's absolutely beautiful.